So once you get the meeting, it's nowhere even close to being done. And once you get signed, it's also still pretty far from being done. In modeling, your job, like, you don't get to be a model unless you're on set on the runway. Sorry, it's just the way it is, right? If you're assigned to an agency, good for you, but you're still not a model. Hey girl, today I'm telling you how I got signed to a top modeling agency. If you don't know me, I'm Cindy and I'm assigned to model to Select Model Paris, and today I'm about to tell you how I did that because it was a very, very long and fastidious story. It all started when I was 15 and I really wanted to get signed to a modeling agency because I was tall, I was pretty thin, and I was like, I'm the next Naomi Campbell, right? Who doesn't think that once in their life? I had a few people around me telling me, oh, maybe you should try modeling, like it could be a good thing for you, like why not see how it works out? So I applied to a bunch of agencies online, and I even applied to child modeling agencies. And a few of them were like, okay, come into the agency, we'd like to meet you. Guys, the photos I sent were, I don't even know what to say, awful, horrible. Do not send those pictures. They still wanted to meet me, some of them, so I went in, and while I was in the subway to go meet some of these agencies, I met with a mother agent that like kind of talked to me. He was like, like you could be a little model. And I was like, wait, no way, I'm actually going to one of the agencies in Paris right now. And he was like, okay, well, I can help you like with the process. And so I started going to agencies with this guy, and he got me a few meetings. I think a few agencies were interested, but it didn't get anywhere like concrete. I didn't get any real results. And he was like, I'm sorry, but like we have to let you go because it's not gonna work out. Maybe like come back when you have less acne, when your features are more defined. And it was COVID, so very hard to get somebody signed at that time. So I kind of given up. Every now and then I would send my pictures to agencies, see if like one of them wouldn't be like, okay, we'll get you a job with Chanel right away and you can start your career and stop school. But no, of course that does not happen. So I sent my pictures every now and then because I kind of never gave up on the dream. And this is what you should do if you're an aspiring model and you think you have what it takes. Like, some agencies have shown interest in you, some agents have reached out to you on social media or things like that. It means that somewhere, somehow, you have maybe what it takes to be a model. Maybe it's not going to be a high fashion models, or you're not going to do huge shows or huge campaigns, but if you can still do some little campaigns, some little ads here and then, a little e-commerce, then it's still modeling and it's still worth trying, right? So I think you shouldn't give up, is what I did, and it ended up working really, really, really well for me. You'll see. I'm also a business student, and when you're a business student in France, you're required to do internships, a lot of internships. And I don't really know what to do with my life, like besides modeling. I don't have like a concrete project that I'm heavily focused on, so I've kind of like dabbled here and there with different internships. Okay, I've been in a startup, and I've been in finance and asset management, and I've also been in a modeling agency, like as an agent. It was a dreadful experience. But this is a story for another video. It was absolutely horrible. I hated every minute of it. And I also got scammed of 1,500 euros. But yeah, I'll probably tell that story in another video if you guys are interested. Because I actually learned a lot of things during this internship, like on my own. Okay, I won't give them any of the credit because I really had to go out of my way to learn a little bit, right? They wouldn't really give me any materials. It was like, you just do the simplest task. But yeah, so at least what I learned during this internship is who gets in the agency and who doesn't. Because I would see a lot of applications from aspiring models, from people who just apply online, from the model scouts. They would bring in like new faces who they think could potentially sign with the agency. But let me be honest with you, maybe 2% of people made it. I feel like 2% or maybe 5% of people made it. I would say that around 15% of people got a meeting, and probably 1 out of 10 got signed out of the people who got the meeting. So once you get the meeting, it's nowhere even close to being done. And once you get signed, it's also still pretty far from being done. In modeling, your job, like, you don't get to be a model unless you're on set on the runway. Sorry, it's just the way it is, right? If you're assigned to an agency, good for you, but you're still not a model. So at least I got to see like the people when they apply, which application gets through to the agents, which people get to have a meeting. I started taking really good digitals, okay? I probably should make a video on how to take good digital, but here are the digitals that I took, that I sent to probably, I don't know, maybe 10 agencies in Paris, because I got an answer so fast that I didn't even have the time to send it to more agencies, right? So I sent those digitals to top agencies on models.com. And models.com is like, in my opinion, is the most reliable website for agencies, right? For which agencies are legit. Because even though agencies pay for their spot in models.com, if your agency has money to pay for that spot, it probably means they're legit, okay? And I applied to, like, I always start by the top. I will start by applying to top agencies. I start applying to top agencies. I don't know, IMG, Elite, Women, We Management, all of that. And then I go down, 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 down. I applied to 10 and I got an answer from Select. I remember it was a Friday in October. I don't remember, beginning of October. I apply a Friday morning. Friday, 4 p.m. I get an email from Select Models. We're very interested in your profile. Could you come in the agency for a meeting? We'd like to meet you. I say, yeah, perfect. Monday, how's Monday sound? She's like, Monday's perfect. See you on Monday. Here is when it becomes crucial, okay? Once you have the meeting, anything can happen, right? If they got you the meeting, it means that they're interested in you, all right? And starting from now, you have all your chances. I pull up to the meeting prepared. I look exactly the way that I look in my digitals, the same, all right? Bun, hair pulled back, light makeup, brows done. I look the best that I can. And I practiced my walk the entire weekend because I know that when you come in an agency meeting, I've done a few, enough now to know that when you come in a meeting, they ask you to walk. And they ask you to present yourself. So you always come in, no attitude, no ego, but you come in with a personality strong enough to make an impression. So I come in and they start asking me, and one of the model scouts, model agents is like, well, I grew up in the same city that you live in. And I was like, wait, no way, that's so funny. I've been living there for how many years, whatever. Just make sure that you talk a little about yourself. They want to see how you react to making conversation, like what's your personality? Are you interested in modeling, right? That's very important. Show that you're not just here because you want to feel like a superstar. Show that you're here because you actually want more than anything to become a model. So I do the meeting. They give me like some tiny ass shoes, like 41 size or size 40 when I'm size 42. And they ask me, can you walk? Right before me, there's another girl, very beautiful girl, right? She's kind of like an it girl, like Y2K it girl. The thing about her, she kind of has an attitude, right? She's like, my mother agent sent me here, like, you know, she has this resting bee face and she's kind of like tired and she doesn't really reply to the questions. She kind of talks like this, you know, like she's uninterested or like she's better than the people in the room. And trust, this girl is still not on the website, but I am. So she didn't make it, right? And her walk was also not the best, but she came here because she had a mother agent. I didn't have a mother agent, and I came here by myself. And it's much harder to get signed when you don't have a mother agent, but at the same time, it shows how much determination you have, okay? So I do my walk, they take a few pictures, and at this point, the photographer of the agency is taking my digitals, and she goes, you're very photogenic. And at this point, I was like, wait, I actually have a shot at this. I actually have my chances. And so I leave, and I think one day later, the same agent sends me an email again saying, we really like your profile. We think you have a lot of potential. Can you come back to the agency? And so I come back. they're telling me, well, like they're all looking at me from all different angles, and they're like, we think you could work in the next fashion week, like that would be great, would you want that? And I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, is this real? Am I dreaming right now? Because I'm in one of my dream agencies that I've been trying to get in for the past 5 years, right? That was 8 months ago, by the way. I've been signed with, yeah, around 8 months with them. So yeah, I was literally feeling like I was dreaming. Then I thought to myself, well, I have to leave for the United States in January, and Fashion Week is in March, so I have to tell them that no, I'm not going to be able to do Fashion Week this season, but hopefully they can still take me in, because sometimes agencies really work in you sign, you runway. I don't know how to say it, but like as soon as you sign with the agencies, they're gonna push you super super hard to all these runway shows in Fashion Week and try to get you to do a stunning debut and an exclusive show and get you to walk with Valentino, Dior, and Chanel, you know. And I knew that I was not gonna be able to happen for me because I was leaving. And then when I came back, it's not Fashion Week season. Well, it's men's season, and then it's couture week. So I was like, I can't work for you for the next 4 months, but I can when I come back. Is that still okay? And they were like, sure, it's fine. You need to lose centimeter in your hips anyways. I was so relieved. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that time in the United States to lose weight. God knows that was gonna be hard, but it worked out fine. I am now at the right measurement that they wanted me to be. I dieted really well, and I worked out in like the right way that made me lose the right weight. I came back, and as soon as I came back, I started booking all those jobs, and it really went amazingly well. Like I couldn't have hoped that it went a better way. Honestly, it still feels like I am dreaming sometimes. Like it's really my dream life that I've always wanted to have. And now women's season, like I think it's spring summer 26 is approaching, and I'm kind of scared, but I also can't wait to go to the castings, to potentially do the shows. Actually, today my agent just sent me a text message saying, hey, Select London would like to represent you. When would you be available for a Zoom call? And I was like, no way, this is crazy. Like, okay, I'm not gonna jinx myself. I hope it goes well. I hope they like me, and I hope I get signed in London and like do London Fashion Week. Like that would be amazing. But nothing is ever done in modeling. Like always expect the worst. Always expect for something to go wrong last minute, because it will. One day in your career, it will. And yeah, so that was it. Here was the story of how I got signed to a top agency in Paris. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.